Most Westerners are still stuck 40, 50 years ago with China, where it was Mao Zedong, where it's poor people riding around on bicycles in villages. It's underdeveloped, it's pollution. People still are scared to come to China, right? All they think is like, oh, but a war is going to break out between the US and between China. What's going on with Taiwan? So hi everyone, if you're new here, ni hao. My name is Lizzie and I've been living in China for more than 6 years, and I'm just here on the ground here in China showing you the truth. And thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you spending your time with me, and I can assure you, after watching this video, you will have a different view about China. So watch until the end. Let's go. I am here on the ground in China. I'm making videos about China, and still people email me and tell me, hey Lizzie, I've seen your videos, but hey, what is China really like? Even though I'm here in China and I tell you what China really is like, let's be honest, you probably won't believe me. I mean, to use a good example, my mom came to China a year ago for the first time, and she came to visit me for 10 days. 10 days. After these 10 days, she went back. Within a month, she phoned me and she's like, can you find me a job? I would like to move to China. No jokes. My mom is living in China right now. My brother, if you just go to watch some of my previous videos, my brother literally came to China and he used the word, we were brainwashed outside about what China is really like. And that is what I'm trying to get this message through to the rest of the world about the truth here in China. I mean, now most of my family discussions, friends discussions is like, what is China really like? Is it really like this? Because no matter how many videos I post, even my family still doesn't believe me. So I do understand that a lot of you also don't. One of my friends recently made a joke. He's like, oh, Lizzie, you're literally moving the whole world to China. And actually, I'm not. I am just trying to get them to just visit. Just come and visit me, or come to any city in China. Just come here for a few days. Because I know once they came here, they will never leave with the same stereotypes that they came to China with. I know that once they came to China and actually saw the life here, that they will fall in love. China makes them fall in love, not me. I mean, as soon as people come here, right, they're like, really? This is China? The roads are this clean? The malls, the infrastructure is this amazing? The people are this friendly, are this helpful? The food is this fresh, this good? Oh, you really don't eat weird things in China. Like, these are the kind of things that they will leave here with and be like, oh, this is the actual truth. I mean, look at all these people enjoying their time outside. Right now, by the way, in the Western media, it's like, oh, there's this big virus going around in China. It's the next pandemic coming from China. Don't come to China. And this is us in China. Everyone is just still outside having a good time because that's the Western media. That is what they are feeding you. And I'm here to show you over and over again that that is not true. Most Westerners are still stuck 40, 50 years ago with China, where it was Mao Zedong, where it's poor people riding around on bicycles in villages. It's underdeveloped, it's pollution. You know, it's scary. And you need to realize that that isn't China anymore. Like, this is China today. I mean, people still are scared to come to China, right? All they think is like, oh, but a war is going to break out between the US and between China. What's going on with Taiwan? By the way, please subscribe because that video is coming very soon and you do not want to miss it. I mean, I live here in China, right? I have all the freedoms that I have in other countries. And the freedoms that I don't have are literally for my benefits. Gun laws. It's illegal here in China. So what does that mean? Zero gun crime rate. Zero. Parents here don't have to worry about kids going to school. They don't have to worry about school shootings. So these are the kind of freedoms that I anyway don't want to have. I mean, the US has it, and look what's going on in the US. I mean, here in China, you can go outside 2 a.m. in a big city. You can wear your fancy watch and you can wear your product jacket and your fancy handbag, and no one is going to think anything else of you. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe in like a village, if you're walking around with your fancy watch or your fancy clothes, yeah, people are going to look at you, but not because they want to steal your stuff or rob you. It's just because they're like, oh, wow. So you don't need to be scared. But even though I still feel scared in China, no jokes, I still feel scared. You know why? Because I grew up feeling scared. I grew up knowing that I can't walk to the supermarket that's 500 meters away from my house because I know something bad is going to happen to me. I grew up where I need to hold my phone in my pocket all the time. I need to hold my handbag tight because someone might run past me and grab it. I grew up scared. So yes, even after living here for more than 6 years, I still have the fear that something bad is going to happen to me, even though China is literally the safest place I have ever been in my entire life. And every single person that actually comes to China and sees it for themselves feels exactly the same way. I mean, here I am, it's 10:30 at night. There are still so many people around me. I can walk with my phone in my pocket, my camera out there, talking to you guys about misconceptions here in China. I mean, and then people ask me, oh, but what about the Chinese people? They seem so scary, so mean. Man, Chinese people are the friendliest people. I have never, ever met anyone that has come to this country that left with a bad impression about the Chinese people and China, the food, anything. Every bad thing you have in your mind, come to China and it will just be swiped away like magic. But the Chinese people here, they're just curious, you know, like, yeah, they point at me, and especially now my brother is nearly 2 meters tall. Of course, people stared at him even more. And for him, it was weird, but they're just curious. Like, I get in a taxi and the Didi driver always asks me, like, compare China to my countries. Like, how's the weather there? How's the food there? How's jobs there? You know, how's the money, the cost of living there? And it's just because they're curious. A lot of these people in this country, I mean 1.4 billion people, a lot of them have never left the country, and they are just interested to know what it is like outside of China. And I feel more than happy to share my life with them. I mean, how many times in this country have I not known a word of Chinese when I first came to this country? And these people are so helpful. I couldn't read, I don't know how to pay, I didn't know how to get to places. Sometimes I'm lost and a guy will literally take me on the subway to my station, take me outside up, and then put me in a taxi so that the taxi can take me there. And yes, I was scared the first time because I am not used to this. I was scared this taxi is going to take me somewhere, but it's not true. These people are just so helpful. And you know, that is really the sad thing about humanity. It's like when people are actually being helpful, now we question it because the whole world is a scary place, a dangerous place. But here in China, man, this is the place to be. I think maybe sometimes it's not even about misconceptions. Sometimes it's just about people don't know anything about China. Like before I came to China, I didn't have any misconceptions because I literally didn't know one thing about China. No jokes. I literally told my family I'm moving. The first question my aunt asked is like, oh, what you gonna eat? Because they ate weird things there. And I'm like, oh no. I packed my bags. I heard it safe from friends here, and that was good enough for me. After university, to just travel, China was the answer. But I never thought that I will stay here for as long as I have. I mean, I came here for 1 year. 6 years later, I now have a house in China. I have a car in China. I live in China permanently. I make videos about China. Everything is just now China, China, China. And that is what this country does to you. And I want to tell you guys, just embrace it. Embrace the culture. Embrace the language. Oh, hello, Porsche. Yes, you know, and it is true. China has the big malls, the big buildings, and the beautiful cars, by the way. But yeah, just come to China, give it a try. Even though if you don't know anything about China, please just don't sit on that couch and believe everything that the Western media is feeding you. Don't even believe everything I'm telling you. No jokes. Like, I'm motivating you. Question me. Question me. Come to China to prove Lizzie wrong. Because I know once you have stepped off that airplane here in China, I got you for life. We're going to become friends because I know you're going to move here. And that's what my friend joked, like, I'm bringing everyone here. It's like, no, man, China does that for itself. Let me tell you one of the funniest stories of not knowing anything about China. One of my good friends, he came to China and he has a lot of tattoos. He's from the UK and he was holding the handle in the subway and this woman rubbed his arm. I kid you not, literally like rubbed his arm. And he didn't know anything about China. So you know what he did? He thought that is China's way of greeting people. So he literally rubbed her arm back. Like, I kid you not, can't believe it. Imagine two people rubbing their arm. Obviously, this woman was freaked out and left and was like, what the hell is this foreigner doing? But that is just proof again and again of people outside of China. Just, you guys don't understand it. And even us showing you, we're living here. Now, it is true. China is becoming a very powerful country. So I want to encourage you guys to learn Chinese. Literally, Chinese is ranked the second most powerful language in the world right now. Let me tell you something. You are going to come to China thinking you're coming here for a year for the money because it's good. But to be honest, joke's on you, because you will come here, you will fall so in love. You will then stay here for 3 years and then be like, okay, it's enough now. Then you will go back to your home country. But once you went back to your home country, you will literally be back in China within 2 months. You know why? Because you will understand that there's no place in the world where the money is this good without working yourself to death, having this public transport, high-speed trains that are cheap, affordable to get everywhere and travel around. No place like that in the world. No matter how much you even don't want to stay in China, China is going to keep you here. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but America just spent 1.6 billion US dollars to spread hate about China. Now, you will think as an American maybe that China is going to hate on you, especially the people that will see you American and they will treat you differently. You know what? That is not the truth, even half of it. And if you don't believe me, please go search American in China and see all the Americans that travel to China and see how much they enjoy. You know, as a South African, not someone coming from America, Americans get treated even better because they get treated with more respect because the USA is a powerful country. Chinese people know that. The English is amazing from there. And yeah, it's just the USA, right? It still has a big name here because there's no need for China to hate on the US, literally no reason. China is doing good. They don't need to step on other people on their way up. And that is the biggest difference between the US and China. Maybe if you are Chinese in American, I mean, you guys know what is going on in America with the Asian hate, right? And then you come to China, you never have to worry about something like that. Now, my last thing that I want to discuss with you guys is, do YouTubers actually help bridge the gap between what they hear in the West and what is really the truth about China? And you know what? 100%. I am not a big YouTuber, right? I have around 94,000 subscribers, but I get so many emails on a daily basis about people asking me, how can they come to China? How can they even travel here? And then they finally come, they make content, they absolutely love it here. And the ball just keeps on rolling. It's like a domino effect. More and more people then come to China. And not just YouTubers, right? The Chinese government is literally opening China to the world. It was a 144-hour visa. It changed now to a 240-hour free visa for a lot of countries, I think over 50 countries, to come to China. Because the Chinese know that people are believing their news and they just want you to see the truth for yourself. That's all they want. They literally just want you to come to China even 240 hours because they have the confidence that it is enough for you to go back to your family and tell you that all the stereotypes, all the things that they have been brainwashing you about are not true. But yeah, that was the misconceptions, the truth about China, and just stuff that I really wanted to discuss with you today. And as I said, I'm confident that this video really helped clear things up for you about how China really is. And yeah, from a busy China, no pandemic China, a great China really. Thank you guys for watching until the end. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.